parties, because that is, defamation, and that causes damages. So we filed a lawsuit to eliminate this list, because we believe that this handling codes 3 and 4 are the roster for the human experimentation program of targeted individuals. I don't know if I just put so much information in there, but I hope you could follow it.
Well, so just to go to the essence of who essentially, which organization is deciding that these, as you said, the handling codes, right, to treat to treat U.S. citizens. Well, as you know, U.S. citizens are actually property of the United States. So, unfortunately, unless you've really done the work to reclaim your status, right, and to separate, if you're a U.S. citizen, you're actually property of the federal government. So that's why I think they can actually do this under their codes and things like this. But what is their
And see, that's why it's so important for us to learn law. Because I've been saying this. I did a video about 2 years ago on what he just said. I was talking about the straw man. I was talking about, should we change our names? Should we separate ourselves from the system? And of course, we got to study law and the Moorish science and stuff like that to separate ourselves. There's a book I got. It's over there in the corner. I can't get to it right now, but they got books about straw man on Amazon too. And I got one book, and I read some of it. I ain't read the whole thing yet, but it was talking about the law and things that we need to do to separate ourselves from the system. Because I was saying the same thing. You know how they talk about the straw man. You get a ticket or whatever, you go to court or whatever, you got to represent the straw man, all this shit. Like the straw man is a dead person. It's a fake, it's like a fake entity or a dead entity or some shit. So I was just wondering, I'm like, since the U.S. own us and we were, we all pledged allegiance to the flag and United Snakes of America, you know what I mean? And we gave ourselves to the system. And now it's like U.S. sold us out to China or whatever. So really America is really China. It's like America / China. That's why we say welcome to China. Because that's what this is. So it's like, since we're their property, I guess they think they have the right to, put us in these type of programs without our consent. Because they own us. The CIA, the FBI, and all that shit. We all in their database. We still got that number, that inmate number, aka Social Security number. They told you that it's a Social Security number, but really it's an inmate number, because you are an inmate here in America. So I guess that's how they, even though it's still unconstitutional, because it's a contradiction, really. It's hypocrisy. Like, how you going to sit here and be like, this is the land of the free, and that stalking and all this is felonies, and you're not supposed to be violating people's rights and their human rights and their privacy and shit like that, but they're doing it in the disguise of national security, and they secretly sold you out, but they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to say, hey, Mr. Peterson, yeah, we sold you the fuck out. They're not gonna do. It's up to you to find that out. So when you in this type of program, or any of these programs, because there's multiple programs, it's not just the gang stalking simulation program. There's other types of programs that you don't even know about, that somebody else is going through right now. You know what I mean? So everybody's going to find themselves in some type of program. You know what I mean? So you can ignore me all you want now, but sooner or later, your ass gonna be running, screaming for some help. Just like they did on the Body Snatchers movie. The motherfuckers running down the street, talking about, here they come, you know what I mean? These people was coming. Them bots was chasing his ass. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how do we separate ourselves. I mean, it would just have to be a whole bunch of fucking legal work. You know what I mean? That I feel as though we need to tap into. Will it work? Probably not, but I guess it's worth a shot. You know what I mean? That you got to separate yourself from this straw man or some shit. Like, how the fuck do you do it? You know what I mean? So my man said it, man. This is, excuse me, this is a real good video, man. If y'all want to go check it out. It's 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Two intelligent people, man, breaking this shit down. I'm gonna play one more time. Just listen what he said.
Just to go to the essence of who essentially, which organization is deciding that these, as you said, the handling codes, right, to treat to treat U.S. citizens. Well, as you know, U.S. citizens are actually property of the United States. So, unfortunately, unless you've really done the work to reclaim your status, right, and to separate, if you're a U.S. citizen, you're actually property of the federal government. So that's why I think they can actually do this under their codes and things like this. But what is their basis or logic in terms of when they assign handling codes and basically treat people like domestic terrorists or whatever the language is? Which organization is doing it, and what is the
and there's many organizations, you know what I mean? There's many out there, so many damn names.
Their legal basis essentially for what they're doing, what in their twisted, warped minds, what are they actually? How are they justifying this?
Okay, well, the organization is the Terrorist Screening Center, that is an intra-agency operation of the FBI. That is why you have those FBI agents going to Congress saying that they were pressured to designate people as domestic terrorists. They know.
You hear that, y'all? They were pressured. They were pressured. So stop with that bullshit about Congress. I got another video about what I was talking about Congress. Stop calling Congress thinking that they're going to save your black ass. Or white ass, whatever. These people are pressured to do this shit. This is national security. The mark of the beast, 666. The ultimate control mechanism. I mean, come on, man. Just ask yourself. If you in the simulation and you see this shit every day, I don't know what you see. I don't know what y'all see. I just know what I see. And from what I see, they got the whole damn world under their control. Because how they can control these people to do this shit. So, everybody's being pressured. You want that job? You how much you make? $18 an hour? You got benefits? You got four kids to feed? I got total recall. I got 5 kids to feed. You know what I mean? You got 5 kids to feed. Yeah, you're gonna obey. And you're gonna put on that damn red shirt. And you're gonna walk your dog around that damn Target. Because they told you to do so. If they putting pressure on the FBI agents, then what the fuck you think? What the hell you think they doing to the bots? You know what I'm saying? Just think. I'm here to just make you think. What the hell? So why are you trying to call Congress? Congress like, shit. It's better you than me getting targeted. Somebody, look, most people look at it like this. Somebody got to die. And I don't want it to be me. That's what we at. We in the selfish world. We don't give a damn, I mean, but at the end of the day, I guess it is just a survival of the fittest. Because, when a mother gazelle see her baby gazelle get caught by that damn cheetah, she look on and be like, oh, well, life goes on, Somebody got gaffled up. I'll just make another. Somebody got to go. We all ain't gonna make it. You know that. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna be the gazelle. You know what I mean? But that's the way it is, man. But anyway, they getting pressured.
Tourists saying that they were pressured to designate people as domestic terrorists. They know that these people don't represent a terrorist threat, but they have financial incentives to put these people in there. Now, other agencies also put these people in there, terrorist threat, but they have financial incentives to put these people in there.
Financial incentives to put these people in there. All you got to do is hear the word finance. Finance. Financial finance. You know it's about money. You know what I'm saying? And if I got to sell you out to give me a loaf of bread, then nigga, I'm going to sell you out. That's how they playing.
But they have financial incentives to put these people in there. Now, other agencies also nominate people. Okay, CIA, or, there's FBI has legal attaches in different countries. CIA, or, agencies also nominate people.
You hear that?
CIA.
Nominate. You get rewarded. Yeah, you took that son of a bitch down, huh? Yeah, I saw you. You was wearing your red shirt, walking your dog every day for the last 10 years. You finally took that son of a bitch down. We gonna reward you. Give you a 1 year gift certificate to Burger King. Congratulations, you goddamn bot. You get a 1 year. You're nominated for 1 whole year of free goddamn burgers.
CIA, or, there's FBI has nominate people. Okay, CIA, or, there's FBI has legal attaches in different countries that send nominations. So the gatekeeper, the person that decides, the entity that decides to put people on this list is the FBI. The legal authority for it is called the Homeland Security Presidential Directive 6 of 2003, signed by former President George Bush.
And this is why they're getting away with it, because it's under national security. And this is the reason why they did that 9/11 bullshit. Because that's when martial law basically started. But we didn't know. I didn't know, of course. Later on I found out when I did my studies. But now I realize that martial law started in 9/11. And that's when they was able to do this. They could crack down on this national security. And that's why, that part when Bobby Hemmett had said that clip I put up, he said, we gotta isolate. They say we gotta isolate the Messianic people and put them on Homeland Security, martial law. That's what Bobby Hemmett said. Shout out to Bobby, you know what I mean? That's what he said. We got to isolate the Messianic people and put them on Homeland Security, martial law. The targeted individuals, you are the Messianic people, and you on Homeland Security, martial law. Your apocalypse been started. Don't worry about the other motherfuckers. Their shit gonna start soon. Everybody's apocalypse is gonna start, in their time, whatever.
And it basic 3, the Homeland Security Presidential Directive 6 of 2003, signed by former President George Bush, and it basically gave the authority to create a list of known and suspected terrorists. That's all that that presidential directive executive.
And you on that damn list. You on the damn list. You know what I mean? They create a list. It's probably everybody on the damn list. At the end of the day, everybody on the damn list, but they got us on the list first.
Terrorists. That's all that that presidential directive executive order allowed. Now, the FBI went beyond what was legally authorized. That was not an authorization of Congress, by the way, and they have been swelling Congress beyond what was legally authorized. That was not an authorization of Congress, by the way, and and they have been swelling the numbers in this list, and including people that they know don't meet the reasonable suspicion standard to be included as terrorists. The freedoms of many people are in jeopardy because of this, and that's one of the challenges to the list is basically that the FBI accepts the nomination, passes judgment without complying with any due process, doesn't notify people, and condemns you to a life of torture. Because once you are on this list, you become a targeted individual. And that's, let me explain to you how targeted justice got to this conclusion, because it's not like, you're making it, no. One of our plaintiffs, who is one of the founders of targeted justice, he was getting microwaved and he had a blood clot on his leg. They called the ambulance. He lived with his 87-year-old mother in the house, in 9 acres. Okay, so the two deputy sheriffs come in the house and said, the ambulance is out there waiting for you, but we will not let them in because we were told there was a terrorist living in this house and we have to secure the area.
Now, ain't that some fucked up shit, y'all? There's a terrorist outside. No, there's a terrorist living in this house, but the ambulance outside. We can't come in and help you. You got Bin Laden in the crib.
He's on the floor, almost dying. The ambulance, people, they when he finally got into the ambulance, like an hour later, they were like, really nervous, like, we're gonna lose him. So that's when he made the connection that the targeting had to do with the terrorist database. Then in 2019, Mr. Groh gave this sworn statement in the El Haiti versus Cable case, which was a case that was challenging the terrorist list per se. And he said, there's a lot of people there that don't meet the terrorist criteria and are not screened as such. That's why targeted individuals go into a plane, into an airport, they go through TSA, and they don't get stopped or screened like suspected terrorists, which is what was authorized by Homeland Security Presidential Directive number 6.
Right, exactly. And so you're filing a case now, right? So can you tell us a bit about your case?
Like suspected terrorists, TSA, and they don't get stopped or screened like suspected terrorists, which is what was.
And you know why, right? If you're targeting, because when I flew, they treat me normal. You know what I mean? But it's all psychological. You know what I mean? Because the targeting, at least I know my type of targeting, is like so invisible. You know what I mean? They do it on a hush hush tip. They know what they're doing. Like whoever orchestrated this goddamn program really thought it out of how to aggravate somebody. But at the same time, if there's anybody that's real in your simulation walking around, they will never know because it's so invisible. Even though I believe that everybody in my simulation are all part of the goddamn program. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in some type of whole new Matrix simulation, some shit. It's like everybody's in on this motherfucking shit, and I'm the only one that's the God walking around surrounded by a bunch of goddamn devils. But could you imagine if you flying, let's say you flying here and there, and you constantly getting stopped and harassed by the guards and police officers and stuff, then that right there would look too known. You know what I'm saying? People would see it, and especially if you got video footage of it, you constantly getting harassed, by TSA or the law enforcement and everything. It'll, somebody might even believe you if you bring it up. Like, I'm targeted, man. I got proof, But but they don't do it that way. They just always there no matter where you at. Like law enforcement. If you at the Wawa, if you at the supermarket, you'll just see a law enforcement walk by. Like there, no matter, that's how they do it. They target you on a sneak tip. They follow you, you driving, you know. They'll meet you at the stop sign, they right behind you. You know, they'll track you down that way. But to just like intentionally or deliberately harass you, that would be too obvious. So they got to do it slick. So they harass you on a low, so it don't look like they're harassing you. So that when you snap out, you can look like the bad guy, and you can look like you the one that got the mental health problem. But it's these motherfuckers that got it because they fucking with you, and they ain't got nothing else to do. And we got Netflix, we got Prime Videos, we got games and all this shit that you could be doing with yourself, but you'd rather be fucking with a nigga. And that's how fucked up the place is today. Can I get a no there?
Authorized by Homeland Security Presidential Directive number 6.
Right, exactly. And so you're filing a case now, right? So can you tell us a bit about your case, what you're doing to try to get some justice? I mean, this is like
some money.
It's absurd the fact that we actually are living in a world like this. But
now tell
us about what you're doing to try.
You kind of like Keanu Reeves, don't you?
4 months ago, in January, I filed on behalf of 18 plaintiffs. Actually, it was 17 plaintiffs. I had to amend and include one more because as soon as we filed the lawsuit, they started microwaving the little 3-year-old daughter of one of the plaintiffs.
You see how wicked
so
they
we
are?
amended the complaint to put her also as plaintiff.
You hear that? So when they filed the lawsuit, they started targeting the little girl, the 3-year-old baby, started microwaving the baby. That's what they do, man. We dealing with some sick, sinister bastards, man.
So 4 months ago, on January 11th, we filed a lawsuit, and it might not be a surprise to you that the 3 principal defendants that are Christopher Wray, who is the chief of the FBI, Alejandro Mayorkas, and Mary Garland. The 3 of them, 3 weeks ago, got articles of impeachment that in the House of Representatives that will be, processed in the congressional way, whatever. So we filed suit against them first, like I say, to on a declaratory judgment, to get a declaration from the court saying it is illegal to have non-terrorists on a terrorist database. That's a principal claim. The second claim also is, there's also for damages, and one of our.
I mean, could you imagine the money though that you can get if we had real justice here in this world, in America and other countries that's down with this secret program because it's illegal and you're microwaving people. And you're doing all types of crazy. I mean, you literally using military warfare on your own citizens. It's crazy. Could you imagine the money? We talking millions, y'all. Straight up. Pain and suffering, all that shit. And we talking millions, but that's only if we had real justice here. Since we don't have justice here, and they got it under martial law, aka national security, they think they could just get away with it. The karma's a motherfucker, though,
Plaintiff, who is Dr. Lambert, I think he's like the first civilian that was diagnosed with Havana syndrome by Dr. Hoffer in Miami. And the important part about Havana syndrome is that it's in the law we have an expression called it's res ipsa loquitur, which is the thing speaks for itself. And you cannot have Havana syndrome if you have not been the victim of directed energy weapons attack. I didn't say that. That has been said by the National Academies of Sciences and Engineering. So that's one of our plaintiffs. After 6 months of being attacked with directed energy weapons, you develop Havana syndrome.
Anybody that's getting attacked by the weapons, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you're experiencing.
and it's not like just standing in front of your microwave oven does it. So that is part of the allegations are not only the torment and the torture that many of these people have gone through, but also the physical damages. And obviously the declaratory judgment that if they are not terrorists, they shouldn't be in a terrorist database. And subject to the defamation that entails, many of them try to get a job. They are denied jobs because these list is shared with credit reporting the companies. Is job. They are denied jobs because these lists is
How many of y'all denied jobs? Can't get a damn job.
Shared with credit reporting the companies with hiring, like headhunters, that kind of thing, So the government defamation is huge, and it needs to stop. Although there's like 300 to 400,000 estimated in the United States, there are 6 million around the world, and this is really important because people around the world, many of them, they think it's the act of, it's the work of witchcraft. They don't know what's going on.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Witchcraft world, many of them, they think it's the act of, it's the work of witchcraft. They don't know what's going on with them.
They don't know.
Many people, for example, in Europe, they cannot speak about the B2K because they are automatically placed in a mental hospital. I know about this young man in
same here. You can't speak on this shit because it's trapped. It's a trap system. It's an entrapment. As soon as you say something about it, they're gonna put you away. They're gonna lock you up, or you're crazy. You know what I mean? So let me rewind it back. What did she say about the the witchcraft? You know what I mean? That's why I keep saying, look, I'm not saying that the beast don't do witchcraft. Of course he does. We know that. But remember, this is spirit science. Spirit science. That's what the beast is using. Using spirit science on your ass. The technology is basically the scientific method of the witchcraft. You understand what I'm saying? The technology. Even in the Bible, when Daniel said in the last days, in this day of time, knowledge shall increase, technology shall increase. You know what I mean? So they use the weapons as witchcraft. You see what I'm saying? Like, instead of, like back in the day, or not even back in the day, even to this day, but back in the day, a lot of those witch doctors, they would put witchcraft on people, and they would use dolls and stuff and poke you with the needles and stuff. But now they don't have to do that. The beast they just implant you with technology and have the frequency fuck you up. Because once they implant you with the technology, and then they have the bots run, because the bots are the one doing it, and then the bots implant. That's the reason why they're around you all day. They filling your body up with that high technology, and then they can beam the frequency at you, and then that's how you feel the pain. So this is witchcraft on a technological scale, if you understand what I'm saying.
Don't know what's going on with them. Many people, for example, in Europe, they cannot speak about the B2K because they are automatically placed in a mental hospital. I know about this young man in Britain that they force inject him every week for being supposedly mentally ill, and if he refuses, they will put him in a mental hospital. And I believe these are not medications, but chemicals that are injected into people to facilitate the torture and the mind control. The key part.
And you think Congress gonna come and save you?
About B2K not being schizophrenia is that
that's V2K,
medicine
not
doesn't
B.
shut it off, and their schizophrenia is that Medicine doesn't shut it off.
Right.
And
Right.
there is a patent.
And that's why I want to know, why do people like the targeted individual Bella? I don't know if y'all know Bella, but she was suffering from the V2K, and she went to the pharmaceuticals and took the drugs. And then one minute she was like, it's kind of working, but it wasn't working. You know it's not going to work. All they want to do is sedate. Is basically sedating you. They're going to write you a prescription and give it to you, and you go ahead and pop those drugs and just basically become a zombie. They're not going to give you anything that's going to work. You know what I mean? You gotta wake up and understand that shit. They're not going to give you anything that's going to work. Everything that they create is against you, to tear you apart.
For it, and the United States has acknowledged that it has used the auditory microwave beam effect on enemy combatants. It's in Iraq and in Desert Storm, whispering, just sending the messages to the enemy combatants. So there is an acknowledgement by the United States armed forces that they use this technology on people.
Yeah, but so their
Military
logic
warfare.
in terms of why they're doing this is experimentation purposes. Is that the
Military warfare.
logic of this program?
Yeah.
Is experimentation purposes? Is that the logic of this program?
Yes. Well, I have learned a lot. I only arrived to Targeted Justice in September, but it has been like an intensive 10-hour seminar for me, and I am very grateful for that. The goal of the program is to get you to kill yourself. It's very cruel, and they just do really atrocious things to you to force you into being destitute and into trying to kill yourself. For example, the polls we have internal, the polls that Targeted Justice has carried out reflect that 14% of targeted individuals are homeless, whereas the national average is 0.5%. So Mr. Lighthouse explains to me that, being a targeted individual, it's some sort of life insurance in the horrible sense that they are not allowed to murder you because you're supposed to kill yourself. They want to know how to, they want to have an absolute control of minds and know what it takes to, for example, somebody like me, to dominate somebody like me. And, I'm sure they regret having targeted me. It is my hope they regret it. But let me give you an example of something really atrocious that they do. There is this lady in Ohio. Her daughter